This is my audience. And this is my visual aid. Okay. Speciesism is when humans take priority over those of other species because they believe themselves to be superior, even if it is to fulfill their needs. Their needs, meaning hurting animals in ways that would be considered horrifying if it happened to humans. Scientists who are using these animals are taking advantage of them in cruel, abusive ways by experimenting on animals. This should not be happening to the innocent animals. Animal testing is inhumane and harmful to animals because they are being forced to participate in it, and it is all for the people's wants and needs. Animal testing started almost 2,500 years ago in the days of the ancient Greeks. Before there was testing on animals, testing would be done on humans. Human dissection came to a stop after the rise of Christianity in the Roman world. During the mid-19th century, dissection started once again, but this time on animals. The first recorded use was in the year 450, when a dog's optic nerve was severed, and because of that, the dog went blind. Some people might say it is a good thing that testing is being done on animals and not humans, but in reality, it is just wrong. Animal testing, also called animal experimentation, is basically animals being forced to be the surrogates for all humans. The reason products and medicines are being tested is for the safety and effectiveness of humans. Animals are tested on to avoid liability issues when humans use them. Luckily, items being tested before humans use them is a good thing for everybody, but in the animal's place it is still unfair and morally wrong. The animals are living and have not done anything wrong, so they should have their full rights to life. Unfortunately, they do not have the ability to decide if they want this testing to be done on them or not, and humans take advantage of that and force the tests. Products are tested on animals because they are the most similar to humans, but the results cannot always be 100% correct. There are many reasons to why results are misleading. For example, it has been said that you're not supposed to feed chocolate to dogs because it is bad for them, but humans eat chocolate all the time and nothing dramatic or unsafe happens to them. Another example is that cats are not supposed to take aspirin, but humans take multiple aspirin on a daily basis. Some other reasons that testing may be unreliable is that animals are not in their natural environment and it makes them stressed and nervous. Normally, when people are stressed out, they do not act the same way that they normally would, so this problem most likely applies to animals also. Animals are used for researching topics that range from asthma, AIDS, cancer, diabetes, birth defects, biochemical weapons, organ transplants, heart transplants, vaccines, and antibiotics. Drugs are usually tested on hundreds of animals before approved. Also, products such as cosmetics or other household products are researched on animals. Every year, thousands of new or updated household products are sold in the United States. Over the years, a majority of these products have been tested on animals to see if it is safe enough for human use. The cosmetic industry has been testing on animals for decades. A variety of animals are used during the cosmetic procedure. Some people believe it is extremely cruel to abuse an animal just so somebody can look better. They are exposed to ingredients separately, and then again when the whole product is finished. The experimenters apply chemicals to the animal's skin and eyes. Animals are sometimes forced to consume chemicals. The chemicals can cause the animal much pain and discomfort, and sometimes it may even kill them. While in the lab, animals are hurt. An example of a brutal test is a very common one, called the Draize test. John H. Draize created it in 1940. By using the Draize test, the irritancy of cosmetics and other common products are measured on the rabbit's cheek to check if the product was good or bad. The workers would put a sample of the product in the rabbit's eyes or on the skin. The rabbit was restrained in a box or would have their heads locked in stocks so they could not rub or bother their skin. Scientists then observe it a couple days later to see if it becomes inflamed or not. Animals are genetically modified, force-fed with chemicals, or blinded. Many people would define that as animal abuse and cruelty. The experiments and testing cause pain, suffering, and discomfort to the animals. Countless animals are experimented on, some are injured, and in the end, some are killed. Technically, the animal died because of the product, so the worker just murdered the animal. Not only are the animals hurt by the chemicals, but they're also abused by the workers. Being abused does not affect the impact on human research, so there's no point to abuse them. An undercover video was taken by the organization PETA, also known as People for the Ethical Treatments of Animals, showing them from the workers towards the animals. The workers were swearing, yelling, dissecting live animals, and more. There is no need to hurt an animal when it does nothing wrong. The animals in the lab are suffering. They spend their life in isolation without any comfort, no comfy beds, or any toys. If an animal is living like this, it cannot practice their normal behavior while in a cage. An animal in a cage without any love or care should not have to live its life like that. Jenny Bathana said, "The question is not, can they reason, nor can they talk, but can they suffer?" Approximately 50 to 100 million vertebrate animals are tested for peer research in different fields like genetics, behavioral studies, and developmental biology. At the end of animal testing cycles, many animals die without a justification. Statistics for animals being used for testing in 2001 were extremely high. 70,082 dogs, 22,755 cats, 257,351 rabbits, 60,253 pigs, 75,169 other farm animals, and 242,251 other animals were all used. Some scientists have accepted the fact that testing and harming animals is not worth it and moved on to new methods that save animals' lives that are appropriate for humans. For example, animal welfare activist Harry Spira managed to convince cosmetic companies such as Revlon, Mary Kay, Procter & Gamble, and Gillette to stop using the Draize test. Not only is this the stop to animal testing slowed down in the United States, but it also has been completely banned in Britain. Animal testing is inhumane and harmful to animals because they are being forced to participate in it, and it is all for the people. Humans take priority over those of other species because they believe themselves to be superior. Yes, testing on animals is a benefit for humans, but the animals should be thought of first. There are alternative ways that scientists could be using instead, and those ways need to become more widely used instead of harming an innocent animal. This is my audience.
Yeah, Lake. Good job.